Hello everyone, today we'll be taking a look at the Panther SDKFZ 171 version A from Tamiya in 1/35th scale. So this is a pretty big kit. I picked this up at a show. You get some history for the Panther out here. Additional kits that Tamiya offers. And you get this pretty sick looking box art. So let's crack this open and see what we have inside. So first, we have our instructions. You get English and Japanese instructions. Let's take a look at the English one then. So, you have history for the Panther tank, and then here you have your assembly. Assembly is, to say the least, very simple. So first, you build the back plate black panel, then the back panel goes on, sprocket goes on, wheels, and the wheel caps all go on from there. And fix the wheels like that. Wheels can actually move, so you can push this thing along, which is a very cool feature. You build the forward hatch, the gun barrel, turret goes on, the crewman also goes right there. Then on the back, you build an additional like container or something. And then side skirt stuff, forward panel, and then additional tracks. Then the upper panel goes on, slides straight onto the lower hull, and then you're finished. So this is a very simple construction. Tamiya kits are simple like this. This makes them so enjoyable. So let's take a look at our parts. So first we have our rubber tracks. Oh, it's an old kit, 1975 kit, so the rubber tracks are not exactly straight, but given enough tension, they should work out. They are the melt the end type, but I personally don't think it'd look too bad if you have like the bent side on the bottom. And plus, I'm gonna be building mine as a Coelian, so I actually don't need the turret. Anyways, here is the hull. Upper hull is entirely one piece. You get very good welding marks on the side, as well as the ventilation for the back. You notice the sloped armor in the front. It's very nice. The armor texture is very good. It's like a wrought metal texture on here. And then the lower hull has the individual suspensions and the sprot and the wheels, like the torsion bar suspension. So that's how it would work. You have the spot for where the wheel goes. But overall, the lower hull does not really have any detail to go for it. But this is counteracted because most of the thing will be covered up. But yeah, it is a little bit bland on the bottom. That is something for sure. Okay, now let's take a look at our parts. So here you have your wheel caps, and they are on the polyurethane material, so they're bendable, but there's a little bit of flash on this, so you'll have to clear it off. So here is your turret. You have the big gun barrel, and then the base of the turret, machine guns, and some vents for the back, and the mallet cover for the turret. I'm not going to build this as a normal Panther, but it's a flak Panther, so I won't actually be using the turret. I might use it for another project though, who knows. Anyways, yeah, it's pretty good weld details on here, and again the armor texture, which is very good. Next, the A sprue has the two hauling wires and additional tracks, and the tracks are just like positioned around the tank as the extra supports. You have the rear panel, and then the figure, you have the commander and the gunner, as well as the containers on the side. You have two fuel tanks, additional hatches, and handlebars. Then, yeah, just additional small parts. In here, you have the place where they put the additional cargo, and then you have some tools for the crew to use as well. Very nice. Next, we have the wheels. And then, so you have your sprockets, and then you have your road wheels. Road wheels have pretty good, albeit oversized, rivet details. but the main point is so that they can actually run, which is still pretty cool. And then you have some axles on the side right here, and then you have the complex leaf suspension. That's how the Panther works. Lastly, you have your decals right here. Now, I think this is someone opened this kit before, but this is the decals for the kit. So you have whatever number you want to do for your tank, and then yeah, you have your number. I think that's like a kill streak it has or something. It's like how many tanks it's killed, and then you'll also have the unit marking for whichever unit you want it to be. Anyways, this is a older kit, but I still think it has pretty good detail. You can definitely tell that this kit is much more suited for motorization than for like being an actual model kit. You can actually tell that this thing was originally motorizable because the motor would have originally be put right here. And I'll tell you a very interesting fact about this. The reason why all armor kits are 1/35th scale now is because of this Panther. Because back in the 1960s, when Tamiya was designing their movable motorized tank kits, they built a Panther, and 35th scale was able to fit the big D-type batteries that the motor needed. And as a result, this is why Tamiya settled on 35th scale, and that's why the rest of the world settled on 35th scale armor as well. So that's just the interesting fact about 35th scale armor, especially with around this kit. Anyways, I find the detail it's okay. I'm still gonna build it, probably just as Flak Panzer. But hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Anyways, like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.